Welcome back to the channel where we talk about old games like they're ancient relics from a lost civilization, even though half of them came out when I was in middle school eating pizza rolls at 2 a.m. Today we're diving into a question that has taken over the internet, Twitch, YouTube, and apparently your cousin's basement. Why is retro gaming exploding again in 2026? Because let me tell you, retro isn't just back, retro is thriving. Retro is the Beyonce of gaming right now. Well, maybe not that last one, but whatever. So let's break down the big reasons why retro gaming is having its biggest comeback ever and why it's not slowing down anytime soon. Like, comment, subscribe. Let's get into it. Let's start with the obvious ones. Streaming culture is basically the retro gateway drug. Creators on Twitch and YouTube are rediscovering old games and realizing something magical. Old games equal nostalgia. Nostalgia equals views. Views equal money, and money equals, wow, maybe I do love the NES. And you're bringing in a lot of different types of gamers. You have Gen X like me, who likes watching retro stuff. You have Gen Z. They like watching retro stuff too for some reason. And then you have whatever's in the middle. Millennials? Oh yeah, I got a kid that's a millennial. Never mind. Yeah. And they just watch everything and hate it. Retro games are perfect for content because they're short, they're chaotic, and full of moments where the player screams, "Why did they design this like this?" And viewers eat that up. Remember when retro handhelds used to be those $40 Amazon bricks that ran at 12 frames per second and smelled like melted plastic because they were on fire? Pepperidge Farm remembers. Yeah, those days are gone. 2026 is the year of the Steam Deck emulation, mini consoles that don't suck, and probably a toaster that runs GameCube games. And honestly, I'd probably buy that because I just throw money at everything. Anything gaming. But retro hardware is everywhere. And it's not just everywhere, it's good. You can play SNES, PS1, PS2, GameCube, Game Boy Advance, DS, Dreamcast, all on a handheld that fits in your pocket. Retro is no longer hard to access. Retro is, I can play Chrono Trigger while waiting in line at Chipotle. And who doesn't want that? Especially the Chipotle part. Now, let's talk money, because retro gaming in 2026 is a staggering $4.18 billion industry, growing at 10% a year. That's insane. Meanwhile, modern consoles are hitting $900. So people are like, do I buy a PS5 Pro or a sealed copy of Chrono Trigger that costs more money than my car? Sealed NES sets are selling for six figures. SNES and N64 variants are hitting $5,000 to like $7,000, and collectors are treating cartridges like crypto. But this is good crypto, not stupid crypto that Elon Musk sells. Retro collecting used to be a hobby. Now it's basically the stock market with worse financial decisions. And every time a big sale happens, it creates hype, which drives more interest, which drives more sales, which drives more hype. It's hyperception. Now here's the part that makes me feel older than dirt. The definition of retro has changed. To younger gamers, PS1 is ancient, PS2 is retro, GameCube is vintage, Wii is classic, and PS3 is something like retro adjacent. I heard someone call the Xbox 360 old school, and I aged 40 years instantly. 40 years. I'm 50 years old. 40 years for me puts me at 90. I'll probably be dead. Look, I don't live the healthiest lifestyle, okay? But here we are. Now I feel 90. But this shift is important because nostalgia is a moving target. Biggest gaming generation is now nostalgic for PS2, GameCube, Game Boy Advanced, and early HD consoles. And nostalgia equals money. Retro hype is so strong that fans are demanding remakes of The Simpsons Hit and Run, Bully, which they've been actually saying for years, Dino Crisis. Yeah, Dino Crisis. This game is what people want a remake of. They're like, yeah, give me that. I want all of that nonsense right there, Dino Crisis. Oh, and also every PS2 game ever made. Even obscure stuff like Capcom's Willow arcade game is getting rediscovered. Willow. I was a kid when that movie came out. And honestly, full disclosure, I don't even remember the arcade game. At this point, if you told me they were remaking Gex 3 Deep Cover Gecko, I would probably believe you, and then I would probably try to pre-order it somewhere, because I'm an idiot. I still pre-order stuff. But not from Bethesda. Fool me once, fool me twice, fool me 50 times. You can get me that 51st time, Bethesda. I ain't pre-ordering jack from you anymore. But publishers see the money, they see the nostalgia, and they see the hype. And they're like, yeah, let's remake everything. Sure, why not? Retro games are the perfect loop. Streamers revive retro. Hardware makes it accessible. Collectors hype it up, sometimes a little too much, and game prices kind of go out of control. But nostalgia expands the audience, publishers smell money, more retro content drops, and then you wash, rinse, repeat until the sun explodes and we're all dead. Retro isn't a trend. Retro is a pillar of gaming now. So yeah, retro gaming is exploding in 2026 because everything lined up at once. Hardware, streamers, collectors, remakes, and the fact that old games are just fun. I'm sorry, but 2026 is full of crap. It's full of crap and day one patches that are 120 gig. And that's ridiculous. So let me know in the comments, what's the first retro game you ever played? So really what I'm asking, what was the first game you ever played if you're old like me? Mine is a toss-up. I think it was Pac-Man for the Atari. It's either Pac-Man Pole Position or Galaga. I want to say Pac-Man. And what's one of the games you want to see remade? So if you enjoyed this, whatever I did, hit like, hit subscribe. Now I'm going to go play Super Metroid for the 400th time and have fun doing it. All right, bye.